The last objective we have here is for the grandfather, Persevere, who was a 59-year-old school teacher, and he brought Dennis to the emergency room, and he wasn't doing too well himself. In fact, he was doing worse than Dennis. He was hyperventilating, and his grandson, when he brought him in, and he complained that he was lightheaded and he had pins and needles. He felt like he had pins and needles all over his body. Well, the doctor knew that anxiety causes hyperventilation. And what had happened to him, let's get this, we've used this several times now, but we'll use it again. Here's the bicarbonate buffer system. What happened was he got anxious and started hyperventilating. When he hyperventilated, he really cleaned his the CO2 out of his lungs. And the CO2 concentration in his lungs went way down, so the CO2 concentration in his blood and elsewhere went way down. This term is a term that's CO2. That went way down. If that gets smaller, what happens to the pH? The pH goes up. He started out at normal 7.4, so now he's up above 7.4. He's alkalotic. He has respiratory alkalosis. The physician did something very simple. He put a brown paper bag over his face. Every time Percy exhaled, the CO2 went in the bag. He inhaled, the CO2 came back into his lungs. Pretty soon he had built up his CO2 concentration back to normal. The body was able to calm down, and he was okay. That finishes this chapter. So remember, as you go through this chapter, whether you read the book first, or whether you watch the videotape first, or whether you work the problems, always start with the objectives. The objectives are going to be tested. We don't go through the book and start looking for questions in the book. We look at the objectives and write a question. And hopefully, again, the goal is that if I can give you the proper objectives and teach you to learn the important things here, I can guide you through the important part of this, you will learn enough biochemistry so that it'll be a framework for the rest of your life. This is not the place, if you're a beginning biochemist, to try to spread out all over the world and learn everything there is to know about insulin and aspirin and things like that. We're trying to learn the most important facts so that you can use that as a basis for learning the rest of your life. Good luck with this. Bye-bye.